And I see the difference. With me being blind, and the access that blind people have, they've surpassed us in every way. You see Braille everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And then with his autism, you know, they're really making big strides and really surpassing us there as well. And now here we are. I'm deaf. And everywhere I go, there are barriers and things in the way. Tell me, me being deaf, can you describe what it is to be deaf? Do I look different? What's wrong with it? Answer that question. Yeah, you will, yeah, you will. I'm sorry again, Jamie. I'm really, really sorry. I'm embarrassed. I apologize. Jamie Mays, I should say, also on the DOD, Jamie Mays. She's new to the board, so I want to apologize for not
Obviously, I'm not up here to answer the last question. Nothing. But I can tell you that when I first started working with these issues and working on the rules, and to some extent still, am constantly just plain flabbergasted to explain how we have spent so much time working on equality and access to so many people, and somehow or another, the deaf have not been included the same way other groups have. And I can tell you that I have watched 3 months of the new director coming in with the same way we all came in with sort of, you know, I'm going to help everybody, and we got to pay attention to everybody, and everybody's the same, and within weeks it was sort of, wait a minute here. How are we still arguing about access to an interpreter that's qualified, like qualified is something that's special for the deaf in 2014? I don't have the answers. I don't pretend to have the answers. But I can tell you that we are, not very quickly I'm afraid, but we are dedicated to trying to come up with ways to fix some of that, to start to bring it up, to achieve sort of an equal access in a real way. And I can go on about, you know, the day that it occurred to me that unlike any of the other groups that we deal with, if you want to complain to an interpreter, you have to do it through an interpreter. About an interpreter, you have to do it through an interpreter. There is no other group that has these sorts of access issues, and we in the hearing community do not understand that, have not processed that, do not get that. We're trying. I don't promise we're going to do as well as we should. I don't promise that we're going to get it done. I just can tell you that we're going to try as much as we can, and we're going to hope that when we forget, you're going to pound the table, you're going to pound the door, you're going to break the phone, and you're going to say, hey, you were here, you promised. And then you're going to call us names when we don't get it done, and we're going to come back next time, and we're going to say, let's start over, and we're going to still be here, and we're going to still be trying, and that's the best I can offer, that's the best we can do, but that is sincere, and I don't expect you to accept that today, but I I do hope that 3 years from now, when we come back for the umpteenth time to Flint to the community, you will say, I didn't believe you then, you know? It was a tough road, we fought a lot, but you meant that. And thanks for hanging with us, thanks for sticking in. But we're gonna work for that, that's not today.
Okay, thank you. Joe? Everybody looking at me. My name's Joe. My last name is William. First of all, I feel like you two hearing guys coming in, you don't know anything about us being deaf. You said you've been in 120 days. I've been deaf since birth. Many of us here have been dealing with this since the day we were born, all the frustrations and everything. So for you to say that, you know, a deaf student in kindergarten needs a great interpreter and a high school student doesn't need a good one, why don't they both need great interpreters? Why don't they both need highly qualified interpreters? One that can understand me, one that I can understand. I feel like the two of you have missed the point and have missed many points. And the same way that the hearing people have oppressed deaf people all along. I went through having to use VRI. The computer doesn't work. The doctor doesn't know how to turn it on and set it up. The interpreter doesn't understand me. Or the interpreter is missing huge chunks of the conversation. Or VRI cuts out. And they keep talking. And I miss, you know, what they're saying. Where is the person that understands my needs as a deaf person? You aren't it. You're not. So where are they? You can't stand up here and tell me bullshit about do this and do this and do this and do this and just deal with it and be patient, because you don't know what my life is like as a deaf person. You don't know my frustration. You don't know our frustration. So please, just stop. Just don't kick up the one deaf person. That's the one we want. That's what we want. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Did you want to respond to that?
Just real quick, Joe.
Oh, give us 1 second. We'll let him grab a seat for a second.
Joe, thank you for your comments. There's not a whole lot that I could say. I don't think I've made any promises or said that I understand this or that. My comment point, I've been here 120 days, and I thank everyone who's trying to help me understand the business community. And I will continue to do it. So I understand where you're coming from, and I'm just committed to do my best.
I don't want you. I want a deaf person to be up there. You don't know me. I want you out of the list. Well, what do you do for me? What can you do? I don't understand. And that's what I want to see. You don't know me.
I understand. And by the same token, you don't know me. I'm committed to help. I understand.
You're hearing. I know that. I know that you're hearing. You're not deaf. And that's all I need to know. That's it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. The articles. we can't talk about tough stuff and still be. We have strong feelings, that's fine, and we can comment in appropriate ways. We absolutely, we can. We can do that. We don't. Okay, so now, remember the order. Bev? Hello, everybody. My name is Bev Guthrie. I am a flusher. I work for the state, just like me. I'm a programmer myself. And my experiences, well, 2 years ago, I had cancer. And the doctor sent me a letter about an appointment. I was going for treatment and everything. And I got this letter. This letter said, you have an appointment to meet this oncologist. So I said, okay, great. So I called to let them know, hey, I'm deaf. And then it went off. And they said, well, the doctor didn't tell me you're deaf. And I said, well, that's not the problem. I'm just letting you know I am. I'm requesting an interpreter. And they said, okay, let me talk with my boss. And I said, all right. So a few days later, it came to mind, so I called him back. He said, so you talked to the boss about the interpreter then? Oh, no, I forgot to talk to the boss. So I gave it a few days. And I said, well, let me know if you have a problem, we got all week. So next week was a bad week for me, and the things I was going through, and then it dawned on me. So I decided to call in the morning of my appointment. I called, and so I said I hadn't heard anything. I assumed you got me an interpreter. They said, oh, well, we're real sorry about that. We're going to have to cancel the appointment. And I said, well, why? He said, well, because I called on the video phone and called the doctor's office. The doctor's office said, well, I was being nice to you and you were being mean. And I was like, look, I was in a lot of pain. So I said, you canceled my appointment and you don't have an interpreter coming? And so obviously I was upset. I talked to my family doctor about it. So he sent me to Ann Arbor to U of M oncology program. So I went, there was an interpreter there right away. There was no problem, no hassle, no anything. So why are hospitals here not able to provide the way U of M does? So I've spoken with some interpreters, and they recommended that I talk to the Civil Rights Division. I filed a complaint already, and I waited. They assigned an investigator to meet with me. They worked with me. She was a nice woman. We never met. We talked on the phone, but she seemed very nice. And then I wrote down what happened, gave that to them. They investigated it. And the Department of Civil Rights investigator said they want to do the interview or they want to do the Cancer Center interview. And said, oh, we hired an interviewer. We've done that before, but she was rude to us on the phone, so we wouldn't. And the investigator showed me all the other invoices that they paid for interpreters. But they didn't understand my needs. They didn't understand that an interpreter and I are different people. The doctor's office or the professional office needs to understand interpreters and deputies are different. They just saw the interpreter now. So that was number one. I lost it. I lost that argument. And I was very disappointed with what happened. Very disappointed. I felt like they didn't really fight for my rights. I didn't think I should have had anything denied. And what about all the other death patients and what they had to go through? So, very disappointed. That's the first point. The second point is my eye doctor. I've been going to the eye doctor for 2 years. Nice doctor. Hired an interpreter. That was great. The interpreter got done next year. I'll be back for an annual appointment. I called, made the appointment. And said, you'll have an interpreter. And they said, we don't get one anymore. And I said, oh, why? And they said, well, we've had a few deaf patients that come in, and we only have a few, and I said, well, why? They said, well, when deaf people call, and then they cancel their appointment, the office still has to pay for the interpreter, because the interpreter shows up, the patients cancel the appointment, and, you know, and there's no cancellation fee. So they said, well, because deaf people cancel their appointment, and, you know, they don't remind us to cancel the interpreter. So, you know, we went back and forth, and again, they don't understand my needs. The point is, it's about my needs, it's about our individual needs as deaf people. These people need to be trained. They really need to be trained. So I have another eye doctor I'm very happy with. They give me an interpreter, but the point is, these places need to be trained. And the third point I wanted to make was the hospital. Yeah, this is fun. You can laugh with me when I tell this story. I was in the hospital for a week. The nurse is supposed to be trained to meet my needs and these deaf people. So way back when we had PTYs, and you know, we didn't have a live interpreter for PRI, but they needed to be trained to meet my needs, especially ever since. So I talked to the nurse. She was trying to raise an issue, but that's the nurse I had. And I was in pain, and I was trying to talk to her, and the nurse just talked really, really fast, and I said, whoa, 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 slow down, slow down. You either have to get me an interpreter, or at least talk slower so I can read your lips. So she said, oh, lip reading, I don't even know what that is. You mean you read it like a book? And should I kind of move my head back and forth? You gotta keep your head still. You gotta keep your head still and talk slow. So then she started spinning her head again. I said, no, you gotta keep your head still. You know, so I said, oh, just write down what you're trying to tell me. She said, oh, I don't have time to write this down. So I said, well, forget it then. So the next shift, the next nurse came in, and she said, oh, okay, no problem. And she explained that first shift nurse, that staff is trained in deaf people's needs, and they've gotten better about it. So the first shift has been trained to meet the needs of deaf people. The second and third shift, I've never had that training yet, not 100%. So I think all these people need to be required to be trained 24/7 to meet the needs of deaf people. And all in all, one, I'm deaf. They need to meet our needs. Interpreters' needs are different than ours. Whether we're angry, mad, talking through a video phone, that interpreter, when they're speaking to staff and professionals, and somebody says I'm being mad, they need to be trained. This is a A to B communication. And I guess that's all I can think of. That's all the stories I have.